So before today's video starts, I'd like to say that there were a lot of technical issues while making this, so please do not roast this in the comments. So, hello everybody. Today we're going to be ranking every single dinosaur. There's going to be 6 tiers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just 5 is the final, 0 is the worst. 0 is they're trashy and not memorable. Number 1 is they're not memorable and they have barely any use at all. 2 will be they're slightly memorable but have very, very little use. Number 3 will be everybody knows these guys. And then tier 5 will be I absolutely adore these guys. So let's get straight into it. Also, the music is going to be very, very loud compared to my voice at some points in this video. So I'll probably go through and try and figure that out. But let's get started. First, Acanthia. Number 4, Aberrant Acanthia. Number 3, because it's just not memorable at all. Allosaurus, I'd call this a 4, because a lot of people know about it, but it's not used a lot. Allosaurus, I'd call that a 3. Nobody knows about it at all most of the time. Brew Allosaurus, I didn't even know this was a thing. I'm going to say a 2. R Allosaurus, I knew this. That's going to be 4. VR Allosaurus, I know these guys, but nobody cares, so I'd say 0. Amargasaurus, they're just annoying, 3. Ammonite, I don't even think you can tame these guys, and they're so rare. I'd call that a 0. Andrewsarchus, 5. I love that guy. Anglerfish, they're just so annoying to get angler gel from. I'm going to call that a 2. Aberrant Anglerfish, 2. Anky, 4. Everybody loves them. Everybody uses them. Aberrant Anky, 4. Anky, I'd call that a 3 because it's the same amount of usefulness and it's just less noticeable. Aranero, everybody hates these things. Besides the spider lovers, so 2 on every Aranero. 1 on the Brew Aranero. You can't even tame it, and it's just forgettable. Same with the VR Brew Aranero. Archaeopteryx, everybody hates it, but most people know it. I'm going to call that a 3. Argentavis, 4. Argentavis, I'd call that a 3. It's the same exact thing, just it has less known. VR Argentavis, 3 again. Not many people know it. Arthropura, everybody hates this thing, but a lot of PvP people use it. I'd call it a 4 since it's one of the only dinosaurs that can break tech. Aberrant and Corrupted, I'd probably give it a 3 because you can't even tame the Corrupted one, and the Aberrant one, with the amount of time I've spent on the Aberration, I haven't found one. Astrocetus, I adore them. I'd call that a 5, but most people would say it is a 3. Brew Astrocetus, I didn't even know that was a thing. I'd call that a 2. Astrodelphus, I love these things. They're just so annoying. I'd call that a 3. VR Astrodelphus, 2. Attack Drone, nobody loves these things. I'd call it a 1 because they're not useful at all. Everybody is just like, whatever. 0 because they're not useful and nobody knows about them. Same with the Corrupted Dinosaur Attack Drones. Nobody cares. Baryonyx, I'd call that a 2. I forget about it a lot of the time, but it can be pretty useful. Basilisk, and Aberrant is also a 2. Basilisk, I'd call that a 3. Alpha Basilisk, 2. Nobody really cares, and I didn't even know that was a thing. Basilisk Ghost, didn't know that was a thing. I'm going to call that a 2. Basilosaurus, a lot of people... Okay, hold up. Let me pause on the Bassie. These things are absurdly good because they're resistant to jellyfish, but not a lot of people know and they just kind of ignore bassies. So I'm going to give that a 5 because I absolutely adore them. X-Bassie, nobody really cares about getting this kind of crap inside Gen 1. So I'd call that a 2. Same with the blue, I'd call that a 1 actually. Beelzebub, one of my favorite tames. I'd call that a 5. Aberrant, I like how cool it looks, but I'd have to say it's a 3. Bella, most of you guys don't know who this is. It's one of the new Ragnarok, Fjordur bosses that I think you fight in Valheim. I might be wrong though. Bela Spawn, same thing. I'd say those both are 2s. Bloodstalker, 4. A lot of people know about them and they're very useful. Brute Bloodstalker, 2. I didn't even know that was a thing. Brontosaurus, 5. Everybody knows this thing. Actually 4 because I'm not a big fan. I didn't even know bone sauropods were even a thing, so I'd say that's a 3. Arbronto, 4. Broodmother Lystrix. That thing just gives me the creeps. I'd call that a 2. Broodmother Lystrix Alpha, 2. Broodmother Lystrix Beta. I'd call that a 1. Nobody does betas. They always do Gamma or Alpha. Wait, is that 2 Broodmothers? Broodmother Lystrix. Broodmother Lystrix Alpha. Broodmother Lystrix Beta. And then Broodmother Lystrix Gamma. Oh, Broodmother Lystrix is the one that spawns naturally on Valheim. Bulldog, 5. Everybody loves these guys. Bulldog Ghost. I've seen these guys very rarely. I'd call them a 5 because I love them. Carbonius. Nobody ever tames these guys. Well, maybe they tame them, but you never ride them. I swear this saddles are too much. I'd say it's 2, 2, and 1. For the R1, it's a 1. Carchodontosaurus, everybody loves it. A lot of people know about it. I'd call it a 3. Carnotaurus, a lot of people have been killed by this thing. I'd call it a 4 because it's one of my favorites. Alpha Carnos, I think I've seen more Alpha Rexes actually, so I'd call that a 2. Skeletal Carnotaurus, I've never seen one. I'm gonna call that a 2. 4 again on the Aberrant. Corrupted, I'd call that a 3. VR Carno, I'd call that a 1. Arcarno, I love the look of these guys. I'm giving that a 5. I don't care what anybody says. It's such a good look. Castrocetus, they're just so annoying to tame, and they're not even really worth it unless you're in a hard tree frame, but you probably have already gotten 30. So, Camelotherium, the poop throwers, I'd call them a 2. They're just so forgettable. And then the flippin' Castrocetus, the boober, I'd call that a 2. Caliotherium corrupted, I'd call that a 1. Not even, probably a 0. VR, 0. Oh, everybody hates the Chindaria, or the jellyfish, but everybody knows them, so I'd have to rank them 3. Canaria, I'd call that a 2. Coelacanth, everybody has tried killing these guys and probably has eaten one. I'd call that a 5. I love those things. Aberrant Coelacanth, 5. They just look so cool. Compies, oh my god, 2. I'd put it lower if I could. Alpha Corrupted Master Controller. Just about nobody knows this guy. I'd call that a 3. No. Not useful, not noticeable. Gamma Corrupted Master Controller, 1 still. Daedons, I absolutely adore these guys, but not a lot of people do. I'd call them a 3. Ardaedon, I'd call that a 2. Sorry, my dog is... Stop it. Corrupted dinosaur? What the? A zero? Nobody knows about that thing, I guess. Deathworm? Oh, a lot of people know about deathworms. I'd call that a 4. Alpha deathworm, I'd call that a 2. Iceworm male, so a lot of people don't actually know this, but there are iceworms as well. Those guys are so unnoticeable because they only spawn on Ragnarok. I'd call them a 1. Iceworm queen, 1 as well. Corrupted deathworm, not a lot of people pay attention to these guys, but I kind of have to give it a 2 because a lot more people play Extinction than Dragon. Malfunction defense units. Oh, I think you can only, yeah, the corresponding missions. I'd call that a 2. Deinonychus, 5. I love those things. Desmodius, when they first came out, I didn't really like them. They were creepy. I'd call them a 3. Dilo, 5. Everybody knows these guys. They love them. Corrupted Dilos, 3. Ardilo, 4. Not as recognizable. VR Dilophosaurus, 2. Because they're useless unless you forced him. Dimurtodon. Ooh. So, one issue I have with Dimurtodon is they're useless on console because they don't actually act as air conditionings as they do for PC, or I just don't know how to activate it. But normally they're meant to. I'd call it a 3 because not a lot of people care, but it can be useful, I guess. Aberrant, 2. Dimorphodon. Half the time people think they're just like mega heroes or something. I've had my dad actually mistake them. I'd call that a 2. Aberrant Dimorphodon, 1. Corrupted Dimorphodon, 1. VR Dimorphodon, 0. Dinopithecus. Nobody cares for these guys, but I like them. I'd call them a 3. Dinopithecus King. Whenever I'd try to fight him, he'd be too laggy for me, and I'd call him 1 because half the time it don't work on console. Dinopithecus King Beta, 1 as well. Dinopithecus King Gamma, I'd say is a 2 just because he's more recognizable, I guess. Diplocaulus. I bet half of you guys don't even know these guys. These guys are 1s, but I preferably call them 4s. Most people don't know about them. Most people don't know that they are very, very useful. So they take no saddle. You can ride them through the water. And they act as oxygen packs. 0 on the aberrant version, 4 on the regular. Diplodocus, 1. Nobody likes them, but they are very recognizable. Aberrant, 0. Annoying, less recognizable than the less recognizable ones. Dire bears, I love these guys. Polar bears, they suck. They're just, okay, so if we go back, dire bears, right here, I'd call them very useful. I'd say 3 because we used to have a bunch before the wipe happened because of that chibi. Polar bears only spawn inside of caves. I'd call them 0 because they're not even tameable. I don't think, at least. Excuse me. Spirit dire bear. What the? 0. I didn't even know that was a thing. Dire polar bear. 0. I didn't know that was a thing either. Aberrants. 2. Our dire bear, 2. Dire wolves, though, everybody finds these guys cool until they get mauled by them. I'd say 4. 0 on the spirit dire wolf. Didn't know these things were a thing. Life's labyrinth. I didn't know that was a thing. So, dire wolf, ghost, 1. Our dire wolf, 4. I've seen a lot of these guys. Dodos, 5. Everybody knows dodos. Everybody loves dodos, and most of the time, people's first games. 2. I've only seen these guys a couple of times, but they've always been annoying. Bunny dodo, they're decently useful. Party dodos, 2. I like the skins they get though. Average dodos, I'd say 4 because they're less recognizable, but they're still cute as fluff. Dodorex, nobody knows about this guy, but he's pretty useful. I'd say 3. Dodicarus, he's a 4. He's very useful, but not a lot of people know him. 3 for Aberrant. The Dragon, 3. Just so you guys know, I'm probably not going to cut this video at all. So if you guys want to see a video with just the scoring on everybody, with me just showing the clips of me saying their names and then their score, 200 likes. I know it's a big goal, but I'm pretty lazy. Dragon, did I say? 3. Dragon Alpha. 1. Dragon Beta, 1. Dragon Gamma. Anybody who's wanted to beat the game has probably seen this guy. I'd call him a 3 just because he's more recognizable. X-Dragon, huh? 0. I didn't even know that was a thing. Dung Beetle, 4, very useful. A lot of people know about him, but not enough for him to be 5. Average Dung Beetle, I love the look. 5. Dunkleotis, or Dunkleotis, or whatever. I'd say 3. X-Donkey, 2. I love the look of him, but less recognizable. 1. I hate the eels. 0 on the Aberrant one. Enforcers, love these guys. Not very recognizable. I'd have to say 3. VR Enforcer, 1. Not a lot of people know about him. Malfunction Enforcer, didn't know that was even a thing. I'd say 0. Eclipse, it's actually a very underrated tame. So it's actually a transportable chemistry bench. Well, not chemistry, mortar and pestle, but it's an absurdly good tame. So I'd give it a 4, since it gathers berries as well. 4 on the average version as well, because it's just so beautiful. RE plus 3, not a lot of people know this guy. Unicorns, though. I don't know why that's in the E section. Also, just so you guys know, here's the title of the thing if you want to see this to get the commands for him, and then the name is in the top corners. So all the sections I might link, I might not, I don't know. Let's keep going. What's an Earpet? I've seen these guys like once. 0. Nobody knows them. Defense unit. 3. A lot of people know them, but they're really annoying. Featherlight. 5. I love these guys. Fenrir. 5. I love them. Hattie. Not a lot of people know about. It's one of the bosses for Ragnarok. Or not Ragnarok, I think. Asgard. Skull and Hattie are the duo for Asgard. Mini Fenrisol. 0. I didn't even know what that is. Fenrisol. Oh, that's a mini version. Still 0, 1, 2, and a 3 because I feel like alphas are less seen, betas are barely seen at all. Gamma's pretty normal to see those guys. Ferox is 5 because just how cool they are. Ferox large 5, they're cute, and then they're monsters that can absolutely destroy you. 3 on the Brute Ferox because I knew about this guy, but not a lot of people know him. VR Ferox, didn't know this was a thing. I call that a Fjordhawk. I love it. I love what they tried to do with this guy, but they completely screwed up the coding. So I had to say a 3 because when it was first released, it didn't do its job. Gotchas, though, not a lot of people know them. I love them. 5 because of how cool they are. Gotcha Claws, 4. Not a lot of people know him, but he's still a pretty sick dude. Galleys. Everybody has tried killing these guys, expecting them to be pretty slow, and then 3 for the galley. Gas bags, 5. I love the look of them. They're just so cute. Our gas bags, I knew these things existed, but they're just so forgettable. 3. Giant bees. So these guys are up for debate because they're useful and all, and a lot of people know them, but a lot of beginners just take the honey from the nest and die and come back. They don't actually ever destroy it. So I might have to say a 3. Giant queen bee. Okay, so that's a giant bee, not a giant queen bee. So I'd call those bees because they're just so forgettable to the point where I literally thought that it was a giant queen bee, not an actual worker. Speaking of worker, that's going to be our next guy. Hold up. Dog. So I'd have to rate it a 3 for the regular bees still. I'd say, ew. Maybe 4 on the queen bee. And then worker bees. I didn't even know there was a difference between regular giant bees and worker bees. So I'd have to say 1 because maybe people know about these guys. I don't know. Never heard of one in my life. Giga, 5. Everybody loves them. Everybody knows them. Skeletal Giga. I barely knew this guy existed. 2. Corrupted Giga, 2 as well. Not a lot of people really play Extinction anymore, but they do play it a lot more than my earlier statements. There's Tech Gigas. I'd say 1. Malfunction Tech Giga, 0. Brute Malfunction Tech Giga Notosaurus. If I could do -1, I'd do it, but 0. Our Giga, 3. Corrupted Dinosaur, Giganotosaurus. I'd say that's probably a 2. Corrupted Dinosaur Giga, 0. Experimental Giga, 3. Because I know this guy pretty well, but not a lot of people do. Gigantopithecus, 5, just because of how much I love him. Aberrant Giga, or Gigantopithecus, 2. Glowbug, 1. They're just so good. Glowtails, love them, but I'm gonna have to give them a 2. I might give them a 5 actually. 5, yeah, for the glowtail. Griffins, 5, just very, very useful. Hesperornis, they can be useful, but it's just so rare to get golden eggs that they're not. So I'd say 1. You can get human. I'd say 0 and 0 for humans, just because nobody really knows them. Corrupted avatars. I've tried spawning these guys, never was able to. I'd say 0. Corrupted survivor, 0. Hyenodon. Everybody just passes these guys by because they're just so annoying killing your tames. I'd call them a 1. They're just so forgettable and so useless. Ichthy, 0. Everybody hates them, but everybody knows them. And they're not even useful. The most they're useful for is fishing, but they don't even do that. Ichthy, 4, because they are pretty easy to tame. X-Ichthy, 3. Iguanodon, 2. It's just so forgettable, but it's pretty useful. Aberrant Iguanodon, 2 still. Insect Swarm, 0. I bet if you've played Lost Island Genesis or Genesis Part 2. Okay, let me get back to our spots here. I think we're on yeah, so insect swarms, you've probably been killed by them at least once. I'm gonna have to cut that out. Let's see. Yeah, there's the insect swarm. Jerboa, love these guys. 5. Bone Jerboa, 2 because nobody knows them and they're only force tameable. Or not a lot of people don't. Did I say that? Jug bugs, 3. Water jug bugs, 3. Oil jug bugs, 3. They're all 3 just recognizable. Caracou, everybody loves these guys. 5. Just about everybody. Caprasuchus, they're just so annoying, but they're pretty seeable. I'd call them a 3. VR Capro, 1. Not usable, and they're just annoying still. Carcanos, so overlooked, 2, but they are very useful. Alpha Carcanos, 0. Barely anybody knows they have an alpha variant. VR Carcanos, 0. I didn't even know these things existed. Kentro, they're just so annoying, 3. They're like the spoiled brat sibling of flippin' Stego. Lamprey, what is a lamprey? 0. I've never seen one. I guess they're probably like a leech or something. Leech, 1. Barely anybody knows about them and they're not useful. Disease leech, 0. It's a worse variant. Leedicus, not a lot of people know about them. I'd call them a 2. Alpha, 1. Brute Leedicus, 0. Bipleurodon. Personally, me and my dad, we've seen one. Disappeared in an instant. Useless. I'd call it a 1. It can be useful, but it's just so hard to get, so I'd call it a 1. Lymantrias. 1. They're so overlooked and they're so trash. VR Lymantria, 0. Lystro, 5. I absolutely love them. Olaf, get down. Aberrant Lystro, 3. Nobody knows them. Macrophage. Oh, I think I know these guys. They're really annoying. I'd say 1. Maywing, 5. They're really useful. Magmasaurs, overlooked, really useful, 3. Brute Magnosaurus. I didn't even know there was a Brute Magnosaurus. I'd call that a 1. Mammoth, 3. Not many people tame them, but they are pretty recognizable. Brute Mammoth, 0. Didn't know these things exist. Actually, I did. I'd call that a 1. Managarmer. I'd call that a 4. That's a pretty useful tame. Manta. Annoying as crap. 1. Aberrant Manta, 0. Manticore. Now, me and my dad actually glitched outside a map after defeating the Manticore. I'd call that a 0. Manticore Alpha, 1. Manticore Beta, 1. Manticore Gamma, 1. Well, actually, all of them are 0 because they're absurdly laggy. And they make you lose your stuff most of the time. Mantis. So cool, dude. I love giving them dual swords. 1. Mantis Ghost, 0. VR Mantis, 0. I just wish you could give them chainsaws. Mega Echelon. They're so annoying to tame. They are pretty useful, though. I'd give it a 2 out of pity. Megalania. 1. Never seen, honestly. Aberrant Megalania, 1. VR Megalania, 0. I'd give it a 1, but if we're counting the female version, it's a 0 because they have no use. Brute Megalosaurus, didn't even know they have one, so I'd call that a 0. Megalodon, everybody has seen one, probably been killed by one when passing the Southern River. 1. 4 because they're pretty often seen. Alpha, 2. X Megalodon, 3. Golden Striped Megalodon. I guess that's like a rare variant. 2 because I'm guessing they're the same, just a bit rarer. Golden Striped Brute Megalodon, 0. Megalosaurus. I like these guys personally, just their sleeping mechanic is annoying. 4, or no, 2, Aberrant, 1, Meganera. Everybody hates them, but they've always encountered one, so I'd say 3, Aberrant, 2, Megapithecus. I like Gorilla. I'm gonna name him 4. Megapithecus Alpha. Mighty. 2, Beta, 2, Gamma, 3, because it's more recognizable. Megatherium. I love these guys for brood mothers, since they get a buff whenever killing a bug. So I'd say 1. Armegalodon, or Archmegatherium. 1, because I don't really want to give them any hate. 0 for the VR version. They're not useful, and nobody really cares for them. Mechs. Oh god. So these guys aren't often seen. I'd say 1. Megamech. So how this works is you actually have to add 4 different guys, 4 mechs into each other with different stats to make the perfect one. So 1 with attack, 1 with health. Or no. You just have to get high level ones and just merge all 4 of them. And then there you go. You got yourself a Mega Mech if you have the attachment to merge them, which is used to fight the King Kaiju, or the corrupted King boy. Exomechs. Nobody even really cares for these things. They're pretty useless, and nobody actually uses them. See, they don't even spawn anywhere. You gotta craft them, and they're overpriced. 0. Malfunction Mech Knight. So that's another one of those mission guys. 0. Mesopithecus. Everybody loves these guys. 5. Microraptor. 4. Or no, Microraptor. 0. Or no, 2, because a lot of people know him. Alpha Moadir, Master of the Ocean. 1. I've never actually fought his boss. 1. And I call the Gamma one 2, just because I guess people who fought him probably have seen him and know that it's easier. And they know it better. Eel minions, I'm going to give the same. 1, 1, and 2. So 1 alpha, 1 beta, and 2 for Gamma. Morellatops. Ooh, these guys are really notable if you've ever played Scorchers, Ragnarok Plus, Island, Extinction, or Crystal Isles. I'd call them a 1, or no, a 3. Mosas, 1, rarely seen, or no, 2, because they're pretty useful. Alpha version, 1, rarely seen. X-Mosa, 1, rarely seen, because just like, yeah. Brute X-Mosasaurus, you have to do a mission, I believe, so I'd call that a 0. Nobody really cares for them. Moss Chops, everybody has the same these guys. They're really useful for Survivor 4. Aberrant Moss Chops, I'd say 3. Nameless. Everybody hates these guys and barely anybody knows about them. 2. Noglin, same thing. A lot of people who found them hate them. I'd call them a 1. The bats. 1. Not a lot of people know them, but they're so hated. Well, quite a few people know them. They're just annoying. VR version of the bat, 0. Aberrant Otter, or just regular Otter, 5. They're pretty useful, and they're cute as crap. Aberrant, 5 as well. X, 4. Overseer. Now, this is the final boss of Island. Not a lot of people know. So, I'd say 2. Broodmother Guardian. That's a version of the Overseer because it can switch between all 3 of the bosses you faced before, gaining their attributes. 1. Megapithecus Guardian. 1. Dragon Guardian. 1. And then if we're going to do the different variants, I'd say 0, 0, and 2. Oviraptors. Now, a lot of people overlook these guys. They're pretty useful. They can steal eggs for you from rivaling bases. 2. 3, because how useful they are. 3, yeah. Bunny Oviraptor, rarely seen, sadly. I'd give it a 2. Ovis. 4. Barely anybody's seen them, but they are very useful with the mine. And another cool part about Ovises is that they have a butcher option if you bring out an axe, which makes the killing process easier. I'd give them a 4. They give wool, the best meat in the game. Unless you want to count kibble, which nobody uses except those try-hard players. Sorry if you're one of them, but you know that it's true. 4 for regular Ovis, 3 for aberrant. It's the same exact thing, just less noticeable and less seen. Packy. Honestly, these guys are rarer than Gigas. Honestly, I've seen less of those guys than Gigas. I'd say 2 VR Packy, 0. Nobody likes the VRs. As we've already shown, Packy. So these guys, the Packy rhinosauruses, they have a special gas that they release. I don't actually know what it does though, so I give them a 2. Paracertherium, 3. They're very useful and pretty well known. Aberrant version, I didn't know that even with how long I've been there too. Corrupted Paracertherium, 2x2. Let's see. Parakeet fish school. Huh? 0. I didn't even know this was a thing. Parasaurolophus. Very notable. I'd give them a 5 because of how useful they are. 4 for the tech, 3 for the aberrants. X-Boys, 2. Not a lot of people really paid the $60 to get that. Malfunction tech, 0. What's the difference between a tech and a malfunction besides you can't tame it? They're annoying. Our Parasaur, 4. Less noticeable. VR Parasaur, 2, just because it's probably pretty noticeable. Pego. We've all been robbed by these guys so many times. 1. They're so annoying, but pretty well known, so I might give 2. Pelagorn is so overlooked, very good. 5, I love them. Phiomia is pretty overlooked because of console edition, where they don't poop like crazy whenever you use stimberries. I'd give them a 4. Phoenixes, 5 if you can get them. Piranhas, 1. Everybody has seen these guys, they're just so annoying. Let's see. Aberrant version, 1. Plesiosaur, not a lot of people see these guys. They used to spawn abundantly. I'd say 2. Brute version, 0. Proctodon or the kangaroo, 5. They're very useful. Or Proctodon, 4 because of the variant. It's a lot rarer. Pterodactyls. I love these guys so much, I'd call them a 5. Corrupted Pterodactyl, really annoying, 2. Pulmonoscorpius. It's called a Pulmonoscorpius, and it is a 2. VR version, 0. Aberrant, 1. Oh my god, these guys used to be so abundant, but the spawn rates were turned down, so 1. Polar Pilovia, I didn't even know they had a variant besides the aberrant version, so 0. Aberrant version, 1 because I did sort of know them. Quetzal, not seen a lot, but really useful for base rating. 3. Tech Quetzal, even more not seen, so a 2. Skeletal Quetzal is a 1 since you never see him. Malfunction Tech Quetzal, 0. Quetzal, 1. Raptor, 5. Bear, get out of the window. Alpha Raptor, 2. Tech Raptors, I like these guys a lot more. I'd call them a 5. I've seen them less, but I like them a lot more because they're useful carnivores and good metal farms and electronics and stuff, so I'd call them a 4. Skeletal Raptor, 1. They're event exclusive, non-tameable, I don't believe. yeah, they're not tameable. Aberrant version, 4, less noticeable. Raptor and the tech are 5. So, Corrupted Raptor, 2, not very known. X-Raptor, 3. Brute X-Raptor, 1. Malfunction Tech Raptor, 0. Corrupted Dinosaur Raptor, 0. VR Raptor, 0. Why are there so many Ravengers? They're so useful. I'd call them a 5. Just not a lot of people know them. 0 for the VR because no one loves them. Reaper Kings. So the one that gives you the Reaper is actually a Reaper Queen, not a King. The Kings are useless. Just they are found on the surface of aberration. That's the only thing that's different about them. So I'd call them a 1. Queen, though, I'd call that a 3 as well. If this is Surface Reaper King, yeah, so the Reaper Kings, I think, also just found on Genesis regular. So, Surface Reaper King, 0. Not a lot of people know him. 0 for the Alpha Surface Reaper King. I'm gonna make a new tier just for this guy. -1. I didn't even know there were ghost variants. What is a subterranean? -0 elemental? What is the difference? -1. Corrupted Reaper King, 2. Why does it look like it has arms? Reaper Prince, what is the difference? -1. Brute Reaper King, 2. Injured Brute Reaper King. What is the difference? 0. -1. 2 for the R Reaper King. 3 for the R Reaper Queen. Corrupted Dinosaur Reaper King. -1. I had to make a whole new tier for these guys. It's absurd. 5. 5 for the Rex. Come on. Tech Rex, 5. I don't care what anybody says in the comments. Well, I do care about your comments. Just, I don't really care if you don't like my charting. Sorry. But if you do have a request that you would want to see changed, I might do it. Alphas, 4. I've seen them a lot. Ghost Rex, 3. Skeletal Rex, 2. Corrupted Rex, 3. And Rage Corrupted. What? -1. What is in Rage Corrupted Rex? X-Rex, 3. I love these guys. They look really cool. Just not as noticeable. 2 for the Brute one because it's pretty noticeable if you do the mission. Malfunction Tech Rex. 0. Nobody cares about the malfunction version. Brute Malfunction Tech Rex. -1. Corrupted Dinosaur, 0. Like, what even are these things happening? VR Rex, 2. Rock Drakes, 5. They're very useful, just hard to get. Corrupted Rock Shrink. I'd say 1. Rock Elemental. Very useful. I'd call it a 4. Rubble Golem. So these guys actually spawn in the caves of Scorched Earth. On Extinction, I think they just spawn. So those guys are just weaker, smaller variants. Nothing different about them. Ice Golem. So 1. Barely even know these things. I've only seen them a couple of times. Valgaro's Shotgun, 1. X-Rock Elemental, 3. I've seen these guys a couple of times. And actually, if you head into Fjordur, there's a boss that you can fight in the lava cave that the brew guy, I think. I might be wrong though. So hold up, did I ever get a rating? 3. Brew X-Rock 2. And then this is the lava elemental I was talking about inside the cave. I'd call that a 3. If you've ever played, wait, it's not on Fjorda? What is it on? Ragnarok? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's in Ragnarok. What am I talking about? Rockwell. Annoying as crap and hard to get to. 2. Rockwell Alpha, 1. Rockwell Beta, 1. Rockwell Gamma, 1 still. Nobody really cares for him. Rockwell Prime. Now, this is the Genesis Part 2 boss. 1, 1, 1, and then Gamma 2. Just you have to get all the missions for the Beta, same for the Ganon or Gamma. Rockwell nodes. Nobody really cares for these guys. 0, 0, 0, and 0 for all 4 versions. They're just the things that you have to defeat to get the Rockwell during the boss fight, so nobody really cares for their names. Roll Rats. Now, these guys are heavily overlooked because they are gem farmers if you really want to chase them around and get chased every time you pick them up. I'd call them a 3. Saber-tooth Salmon, 5. They just get so big, and I recently learned that they're aggressive. Aberrant versions, 4. X Saber-tooth Salmon, 4. Rare X Saber-tooth Salmon? Now I want to find one of those. 0. I didn't know those things existed, but they look very cool. Saber-tooth, 5. I love these guys. They're annoying. So 4. X Saber-tooth, 3. Sarcos, 3. Aberrant Sarcos, 2. If you're enjoying the video so far, please leave a like. I'm planning to start live streaming once I hit 50 subs. Brute Sarco, 2. Scout. Oh. These guys are annoying. Nobody really cares for them. 1. Seekers. Now, these guys are like Ravengers, just they're a lot more annoying and ugly. 0. Same with the Brute Seekers. 0. Nobody knows them. Shadow Mains, 5. They're really useful. A lot of people know them because they are on the front cover of the game. Well, the Genesis DLC. VR Shadow Main, 0. I didn't even know those things existed. Shinehorn, 5. Love them. Cinema Crops, overlooked drastically. 3. But they are a jetpack. Snow Owl, overlooked a lot. 5. They're really good flyers. They make the best fertilizer besides gigantic fertilizer, and they're freezing heal. Ghost versions, 1. Snow Owl, 3. Spinos, 5. Aberrant Spinos, 3. Corrupted Spinos. It's been a while since I've seen one of these. I'd say a 1. X Spino, I'd say, is also a 3. Brute X Spino, 2. I swear if there's like a... Okay, good. Stegosaurus, 5. With their new update, with the hardening and all that stuff. Tech Stegos. Honestly, these guys are really rare. I'd call them a 2. Skeletals, 0. I've only ever seen one once. Aberrant Stego, 3. Corrupted, 2. Malfunction Tech Stego, there's no different except they're not tameable. 0. VR Stego, 0. Steinborn. He's not really too known. I'd say 2. Rubble Bear. I'm losing my mind. 1. I think that's just a variant. Summoner. Super annoying. Overlooked. 0. Macro Summer. 0. Super Turkey. I love these guys. They're so annoying to kill. Tapadera. Now these guys are faster than pterodactyls, and they can hold 3 people, overlooked drastically. 5 on my part, 4 for the X version. Or no, 3 for the X version. 0 for the VR. Tech Strider. These guys are super useful. Heavily overlooked though, and pretty hard to tame. So I'd say 0. And we never got a regular Strider. Malfunction Tech Strider. That's actually the thing that the knight rides on top of. 0. He's just another side character, I guess you could say. Terror Birds! Super annoying. Not that useful, I'd say 3. VR Terror Birds, 1 because they get to you first out of just about any VR dinosaur. Dinosaurs, 5. Super hard to tame, but so worth it. Thorny Dragons, super overlooked. I'd say a 4. Thylacolea, 5. They're just built like that. Arthylas, 4. I love the look of them, but they're not as common, and I don't really play Genesis Part 2. Ice Titan, once you tame these guys, they're amazing. I'd say 5. Forest Titan, 4. Desert Titan is a 3. I know that it's just going down, but it's just because they're not recognized. Desert Titan Flock, 1. They're so annoying. Alpha King Titan, 1. You rarely ever see anybody fight him besides YouTubers for 100 days. Beta King Titan, 1. Gamma King Titan, I faced this guy, the cutscene's amazing. I'd say 3. That's why I called him King Kaiju, because it says G Kaiju for his spawner. Corrupt Tumor, that's what's actually on the guys so that you can tame them. I'd say 0. Titanobos. The way you tame this guy is you throw fertilized eggs and it eats them, but they're not rideable and they're useless. Aberrant Titanoboa, 0. VR Titanoboa, 0. Titanium Drone. Everybody's seen this guy. They're pretty recognizable. Just their name is crap. I'd have to give them a 1. Titanium Soldier is a 2 because we've seen them more and they're a lot stronger. Titanosaur. Now these guys are meant to be rare, but I've seen a lot more of these guys than any other rare creature. So I'd say Titanosaur is probably a 4, just as hard to think. Triceratops, 5. Skeletal Trike, 2. Aberrant Triceratops is a 3. Corrupted Triceratops is a 1. A lot of people have seen them, just they're annoying as crap. Enraged Triceratops, nobody cares. I'd say a 0. I'm not trying to be harsh, but nobody really cares about it if you're mad. Lock yourself in your room. X Triceratops. 4. I love the look of them. They're the same amount of useful. Alpha X Triceratops. There's an Alpha X. I'd say that's a 1. But he does look pretty gnarly with his with Triceratops heads or skulls on his head. Tech Triceratops. Now this guy only spawns in Genesis Part 1 since this is the simulation. So I'd say 1. Barely anybody goes to the biome that he's in. Malfunction Tech, 0. Corrupted Dinosaur. I've never actually seen one of these guys. 0? I've never seen a dinosaur. VR Triceratops, 0. Trilobite. I love these guys so much, just they're so uncommon now. 3. Aberrant Trilobite, 2. Troodon's so annoying, not many people can see him anyways, so 1. Tropanathus, so overlooked, 5 because of its jetpack and its rocket launcher. Tusos, so annoying. Give it a 1, not many people see it. Or no, a 2, and then the Alpha, 1 because you have to find them for the Alpha boss on the island. Brute Tuso, 0. Velonosaur. I love these guys. 4. Arvelonosaur, 3. I didn't even know there was an R version. I thought they were just Velonosaurs. 0 on the VR version. Void Worms. These guys are so rarely seen, but I've heard they're very, very cool. 3, I'd say, for the void one. Vulture, 1. They're so annoying, not useful. Woolly rhinos. I don't think there's even use. 1. They're pretty they go unnoticed and they're not strong. The X version is a 0 because it's even less recognizable and is just as useless. Wyverns. I'm gonna skip the wyvern because it doesn't have a type. Fire wyverns. 4. They're very iconic. 5 for the lightning wyvern. They're just so strong. Poison wyverns. 4. Ice wyverns. These guys are very overlooked, and they are pretty strong. So I'd give them a 4. Forest wyverns only spawn whenever the forest titan spawns them. I'd give them a 1. Alpha fire wyvern. 0 or 1. I've only ever seen 1, so I'd give it a 1 star. Zombie wyvern. I'm gonna skip that because it doesn't have a variation. Zombie fire wyvern. 1. Zombie lightning wyvern, 0. Zombie poisonous wyvern, 1. Because the lightning wyverns are, for some reason, rare. Bone fire wyvern. Didn't we just go over the... No, that was the wrong. 0. For the bone. Corrupted, 1. Because I've seen them. Tropical crystal wyvern. It's just a water variant of the fire type. 3. Not very noticeable. Ember crystal wyverns are the most useless thing. They're just fire wyverns. 0. Blood crystal wyvern. I love these guys because they have their stealing blood thingy. So I'd give them a 4. Tropical crystal wyvern and all the ember crystal wyvern hair and the aqua one and the blood one. All of them are 0s. They're just so forgettable because the blood crystal, because of the final boss, that's the only time they spawn. Alpha blood crystal wyvern. 1. Crystal wyvern queen. Since that's not a variant, I'm gonna give it a 0. Or just skip it actually. 0 for the alpha and the beta, 1 for the gamma. Because since they're not new, but not a lot of people cared for crystallized. Root fire wyvern, don't care for it, 0. We actually tamed one of the dodo wyverns, but it disappeared, so it was a waste of our time. I'd call that a 0 since it's really useless. Yeti! 1. Utyrannus, or Uranus, whatever you want to call it. 5. XUT. 3. Brew X UD. 3. Corrupted Dinosaur UT. 0. Okay, that's gonna finish it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for using my camera, but peace.